I was sending my kids to school covered in piss and shit. Not even kidding. Speaking of which, hey YouTube, how's it coming getting rid of all them Von Helton hate channels? Oh yeah, you ain't got rid of one, not one, have you? Have you YouTube, you motherfuckers? Haven't got rid of one hater, even though they all violate your terms of service on harassment. Every single channel violates your terms of service regarding harassment because it is harassment. When you take my videos and chop them up and to make fun of me or to disparage me or to get people to hate me or to get people to do me harm, that's harassment. That's a violation of YouTube's terms of service. So where the fuck are you, YouTube? Why aren't you getting rid of all these hate channels? Why are they still up after 25 years of me screaming, get them down, take them down? I smell a lawsuit in your future, YouTube. I do, if I survive this, of course, which hopefully I will. So let's go on because a lot of people don't know the background. They listen to these fucking YouTube terrorists, right? They listen to these terrorists online. Oh yeah, that Von Helton, he's so evil. Well, wait a minute, hold on. It's so evil it takes 100 of you to go after him? Really? He's so evil it takes 100 people to go after his ass? Does that even make sense? And why put it all over the damned internet anyway? Shouldn't you just call the police? Right? Yeah. Why put it all over the internet? Because they do this, their own words, they do this for the lulz. Lulz. Well, Vaughn, what is lulz? Lulz means they do it for laughs. They do it for kicks. They do it for fun. I mean, we have actual evidence, or well, we did have, I don't know if we still do, but we had actual evidence of satchels of cash in the back seat of Tiffany Moser's car from where she colluded with the Frost to get my kids taken away after Frost had stolen the $5 million out of my mother's closet when doing renovations. What happened to Floppy? Oh yeah, Floppy got run over. And now I can't swear to it, but apparently there was a lot of talk about running over my dogs with four-wheelers. Yes, I said four-wheelers. I didn't say cars. When they were run over by cars, that was the Frost that did that. This was somebody else that did this. They used four-wheelers. Now, allegedly, it was said in jest, but then about a week later, Floppy ends up dead. Yeah, I don't think it was said in jest. Now, do you? So, yeah, there is a little bit of interesting, questionable actions in regards to that now, wasn't there? So, by Frost cleaning out my bank account, my mom's bank account, and a joint account we had, it turned into grand theft when he refused to return the money when she reasonably requested it be returned, and he refused. At that point, it was grand theft, not use of an executorship. Open and shut grand theft on the part of James Arnold Frost. So, I had no money, but I did have rent coming in. And of course, the trolls got my kids taken away from me, so I didn't have Jerry's money to fall back on, which of course is part of the plan. Because if you ain't got nothing to fall back on, then it's a simple matter to just tell the renters, hey, don't pay this man any rent. And make sure you trash the houses before you leave, which they did so. Absolutely trashed them places. And them places were nice. That double wide there on Crane Creek Road was, I mean, the Combses had that house looking like a dollhouse. It was beautiful. And the way it was trashed and destroyed after the renters left just really made me mad. But there ain't nothing you can do about it. The Frosts, unfortunately, were in control at the time. And so they just told the renters, yeah, just don't pay him any rent. Because everybody's like, how did you get behind on the damn taxes? Well, that's how. I didn't have no rent coming in. They refused to pay rent. So I had to get rid of those people, which, by the way, costs about $300. Every time I had to get rid of one of these clowns, it cost me $300 because you have to pay it to the court. You have to pay the court to get in there. So and then so I get a second batch of people, and I should have not rented to any of them because I should have known they would be plants. But anyway, good-hearted Vaughn, I decided to, let these people rent, and then they turned around and refused to start paying a rent, and so there's another $300 that I had to spend to get them out of the house, and it's nickel and diming you, nickel and diming you to death, and not able to pay the taxes. Obviously, these liens being in default is a problem. And so the trolls get a hold of these two people to go over to the house and connive me into trusting them, which I did. And so I trusted them, and invariably they made themselves power of attorney and went to the county attorney's office and put everything in their name. Which they're telling me, oh well, we're going to add our name to the properties, right? But they're telling the Clay County attorney, Joe White, they're telling him, no, remove Von Helton's name and only have our name. Well, see, I never agreed to that. I never agreed to that. I never agreed to have my name removed from them properties. But see, they're telling Joe White one thing and they're telling me another, because they told me, oh, we're going to add our name to yours. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't happen, did it? No. No, they had my name removed and their name was the only name. Now, it didn't really matter because, I mean, they had me over a barrel because I had no money, right? Remember, the Frost had stolen every dime. They even cleaned out Mom's house. Mom would have money hidden in the kitchen and, money hidden under a mattress or whatever, They cleaned that place out, man. They took every scrap of, if there was a dime laying on the countertop, they took it. They cleaned it out good, checked all of her closets for money, made damn sure that there wasn't a scrap of money for me to have. And then while they're stealing the money, get this, you're gonna love this. This is great. While they're stealing the money out of my mother's closet to the tune of $5 million, and the same damn breath, they're sitting there saying that I took $30,000 of my mom's money. And then literally in my mother's house, with the doors locked, by the way, stealing every dime of money and property she had. Now that's some balls right there, right? That's some major balls. And the trolls to this day, oh yeah, Bond stole $30,000 of his mom's money. No, Bond didn't either. No, Bond didn't. The Frost was ones in that house. That house was locked. That house was locked. I could not get in it. They had it locked. So no, Von Hilton did not do shit. Not only that, but as my own mother said on video, that's my money too. And I could spend it as I wish. I've got her live on video saying that shit. It's mine and her money. And I told Mom, I said, Frost is saying that because your maiden name is Frost, that he has a right to that money. She said, absolutely not. So I trusted these people, and they put all my property in their name and removed my name, which they weren't supposed to do. So as a result, and I'm, and the county attorney's like, we're adding her name, and I said, yeah, you're adding her name. It's okay to add her name. But see, I didn't know she had told him to remove my name. See, that's the thing. So I thought the county attorney was just adding her name to the property. But yeah, I never said to have my name removed from them properties at all. Never. I never said that. I defy anybody to prove I did. I never said that shit. I thought they were adding their name to the property. That was my understanding because that's what Charity had told me. Said, we'll add our name with yours, and that will make it tougher for somebody to take your liens in the future. And I agreed to that. I said, okay, that makes sense to me. Well, that's not what they did, though. When they went to Joe White's, they removed my name and only put their name on the property. See, that's not what we agreed to, though. That's not what we agreed to. Nowhere did I ever say to remove my name from them properties. Nowhere. Okay? Let's be clear on that. But anyway, they now have the properties, and of course, they destroyed my setup that I had for my kids in the garage after promising me they wouldn't. And oh well, we're not interested in the rental property. Well, that didn't last long, did it? So I mean, just and oh well, we've spent out so much money. Well, you know, they said, oh well, the Frost bought the double wide. How you buy a double wide when it's part of an estate? How does that work? Oh, it don't. They didn't buy the double wide. That was a lie. Now they, but at least the Frost did lie to these people, so that's good. But that's beside the point. If you're wondering, well, why in the fuck is Vaughn in his car? Well, now you know, because I have no money. The Frost stole all my money, $32 million in cash and documents. I was a Christian for 20 years, folks. My mom was a Christian for 91 years. My mom would sit in her chair at night and cry herself to sleep because the Frost had stolen everything she had. Funny how Larry wouldn't ever play that video. Huh. Gee, I wonder why. My mom would sit in her chair, her lazy boy chair, every night and cry herself to sleep because the Frost had stolen all of her money. I should have recorded it and posted it. But hindsight's always 2020. I should have recorded that of her crying and posted it on the internet. I should have.